Welcome back to the Loyal Sons podcast. How do? My name is The Huff. I am your host. This is Brett sitting here next to me if you haven't met him. He's the co-host. He joins me every week when he feels like it. Anywho, we're the Loyal Sons of the great state of Iowa, the mighty Midwest, and that encompasses 3 teams specifically that we cover: the Iowa State Cyclones, the Huskers of Nebraska, and the Iowa Hawkeyes. And we also covered the Big 12 Conference here and there when we feel like it.
Yeah.
They're treating us nice.
They are.
Yeah. Oh, Brett, what's been up with your week?
Oh, man, took last week off, which was nice. I had a good break. Went on a walkabout in Palo Duro Canyon in Texas.
Beautiful place.
It is. I caught myself doing the Iowa drive, where driving down the road and there's these empty fields. And I was like, I wonder what they plant in there. Turns out it was cotton.
Cotton.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like such an Iowa feeling driving there. And then when it got there, it was just a beautiful canyon. Reminded me of like Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Sunset was amazing. Sunrise. It was very peaceful and very beautiful.
And you didn't get caught in a dust storm or anything?
I did not.
Nope.
I did not.
Winds blow like a son of a bitch out there.
Yeah, it was freezing and below,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't bad until the wind picked up, and then I could definitely see where the dust storm would make it awful.
And you didn't venture by the 4.6s while you're out that way?
I did not. Kind of time crunch. It was more of a down back type thing.
Got it. Yeah, the whole cotton thing, when I first moved to Texas, really, I did not know when I moved here that cotton grew in Texas. I remember the first time I was driving out south out of DFW going down to Austin, and I saw a cotton field, which kind of got me off guard. But then going out to Lubbock, they're everywhere, man.
Oh, yeah.
Bales of it sitting alongside the friggin' road.
Yeah. And how smart I am. I'm like, I wonder if that's soybean or corn. Not even close. Even close.
No, sir. Not for the soil down here. Anywho, I went on Walkabout as well at home while Brett was on Walkabout. And we did post on social media that we had a spat, and that's what caused us. We had to take some time off. That's not true. However, yeah, dick. Anyways, okay, it was true. All right, so we're moving ahead. Before we get going, though, Brett, you want to talk about our socials?
Yeah. Can't you find us on a couple different places? YouTube?
There's the YouTube.
TikTok?
Well, it's YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And then the TikTok, and also the Twitter, or X. And those are our main ones.
Yeah, and then we got a presence on Facebook as well.
We do. For those of you that have been following us and continue to listen, thank you, and we appreciate you coming back. I don't know why you listen to us two knuckleheads every week, but you know what? We do it because we love it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
Remember, smash that like button if you are. Follow up.
Make sure if you want to subscribe, please do. We get a lot of listens, but I know how it works out there on Spotify. It's like I listen to a ton of things, and I don't necessarily follow them. But as far as our social media goes, Brett, what do you got to say about that?
Man, you got to smash that like button. Share it with everyone. Give them the gift of us.
We are the gift that does not keep on giving. We've been seeing a lot of volume. It's been pretty awesome to see. So glad y'all are seeing this is entertaining. You already told them to smash the damn like button and all that fun stuff. What do we need to say? We had a specific listener in Iowa. He didn't get the whole subscribe thing, but he was asking us what it meant. What were we going to tell him?
He was asking us, like, how do you like something?
Yeah, heart.
Yeah. So press the little heart.
Yep. So, you know who you are. Now, the heart thing. Okay. What do we want to hop into first? A little bit of basketball?
Yeah, we just got done watching the game.
Good God. Yeah, that's why I've got 2 beers. Yeah, Iowa State takes on Baylor and Hilton today. You know, the boys, I will say this, that we saw some signs of dark past at Cincinnati, but they were able to play well enough to recover from those mistakes. You know, there were still some turnovers, and they were getting out rebounded in a lot of places, but Mom Chilipich and Jefferson and Lipsy, just that guy, man, the heart he showed.
Oh, yeah.
All of it. He was fucking falling all over the court, man.
Oh, yeah. Going after it. Like, I thought they had it in the bag, and then, last minute and a half, I kind of sat there and was like, shit.
This is going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah. But they won. Hey.
Yep. But Baylor has always been a thorn in a lot of teams' sides. I mean, it's, they're similar to KU in a way that, like, they can be having a quote unquote down year. I mean, they can still beat anybody in the conference. So, they get the win over Baylor, and it was one that they very much need in Hilton. And it's, you don't take these wins for granted. because they do have to come down here and play a TCU team. I don't know. TCU always plays somewhat tough, but TCU's given some teams a run. We're gonna go see them down here in Fort Worth.
I'm excited to see them live. Gone to that game in
a couple of years.
Yeah.
Remember when we went down there and TCU was really bad, and they had the student. They said, "Give it up for the student section, the purple haze," and it was like 30 of them.
Yeah. I think there were more Iowa State students there than TCU
you looked over
students.
And there was like 3 people just waving flags, like, "Wee." Yeah, we get a little spoiled with our crowd at Hilton, but they should, quote unquote, should win that game, and then KU comes to town for a rematch, which is huge, absolutely huge, and they're going to need every ounce of the crowd at Hilton too. Darren Peterson, who is in high NBA prospect, nobody's been able to stop that guy outside of an injury. Yeah, so Iowa State gets the win and move on forward. Now the Iowa men play tomorrow.
Yep, Northwestern.
Against Northwestern. Now, Iowa's on a 5-game win streak right now. They lost to Purdue. People were, they were kind of down in the dumps, I think, as Iowa fans, which, it's easy with the last couple of years they've had where they're starting off, exceeding expectations, and you're doing well, and then you run into teams like freaking Purdue.
Yeah, they rallied. That's the big thing.
It's true. And they didn't lose by much to Purdue. They played them tough. But yeah. They beat Oregon and Washington, most recently. Like I said, extends that win streak to 5 games. And yeah, they got Northwestern coming into Carver, and then Maryland, and then they have lucky for them, a rematch with Purdue.
But it's at home.
It is at home. It is at home. Now, Iowa fans need to step it up because there's been a lot of bitching about how empty Carver has looked in certain games. I think I was watching one of their more recent games. They were playing a team, I can't remember which game it was, but I thought I heard somebody say that the game was damn near sold out.
Really?
So maybe they're coming back around. But Iowa's got to get their shit together because they got to make a run for the tournament. Right now, nothing's guaranteed. Think, depending on which one you're looking at, they have them around a 7 seed, I believe. Okay. But you're in that 7, 8, 9, 10 area, you can easily be out as well. The Nebraska men, Hoiberg's boys, the one that I'm getting shit for in comments about talking about a headband that his son, nice headband, by the way.
Why, thank you. I'm just bringing a little swag to this podcast.
Yep.
Little drip.
I developed some haters for my trash talk, I guess, if you will, on the young Hoiberg's headband.
You were just being old, man.
It is true, and I'm still old, and I'm happy about this. All right, the Huskers. So much like Iowa State, the Huskers had a week-long rest. So Iowa State and Nebraska both played last Saturday and did not have another game until this week. Now, they took on Rutgers today.
Beat them pretty bad.
Rutgers is a very bad team. I watched that game. Oof. No, I'm not saying nothing against Nebraska, because they actually didn't have the best game either. I would say that Sanford, he was off on his shooting. And now, granted, again, I go back to the fact that we don't know shit about basketball.
No.
Anyways, with that being disclosed, yeah, Nebraska didn't play their best game, but Rutgers is just that damn bad too.
It would have been easy for them after playing Illinois and Michigan to kind of be beat up, take that game off. But
it is true.
They won. Yeah. They're back on their winning streak.
We really can't.
They can start making up another fake win streak.
I got nothing to say on that one. I supported the actual win streak. I supported it. You did not.
I did not.
And here you sit with your headband.
I just know how much you love them, and we needed a little swagger.
Indeed. But yeah. So, I mean, we as Iowa State fans, primarily Iowa State fans, cannot actually say anything about a low-quality loss since we do have Cincy on our record. So, with the Husker men, so they like I said, they had their game against Rutgers. Now, it's interesting. They also have a rematch with Purdue, which Nebraska... They're getting back on the horse today. After a week's rest, they have a rematch with Purdue. Now, prior to the week's rest that they had, they did lose back-to-back games to 2 of the top teams in the Big Ten, which were Michigan and Illinois. And that was heartbreaking for some Husker fans. You're on that undefeated streak. You're riding high. Shit, CBS or ESPN, somebody's got you as a 1 seed. I think they were kind of hoping, this is really going to happen. Shit, I was in support of it.
I still think it is.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be a 1 seed.
No.
But yeah, so, they had the awesome thing that they can take away. And I know that there's no moral victories here when you're talking about wins and losses and talking about bracketology and all that shit. But they played both teams tough. Now they got to take on a really tough Purdue team. But it is in Lincoln.
Show up and show out. Like
Purdue's just coming down to the Iowa, Nebraska area and just traveling through. They got to go to Iowa City and then over to Lincoln. All right, let's move on to the women. So we're going to start off with Iowa. I don't have anything to help y'all feel better, Iowa women's fans. You're on a 3-game skid right now. USC, UCLA, and Minnesota, which was unexpected, after a win against a really tough Ohio State team. Now, UCLA was pretty much to be expected, I think, by everybody. But, yeah, the Iowa women's basketball team they're in a place they're probably not really used to or, familiar with. I mean, Caitlin Clark's been gone a few years now, but at the same time, they were doing so well. But we'll have to see if they can get back up there. This week, they're at home against number 24 Washington, which would be a good win to get back on that horse. And then, lucky for them, they got to travel to Lincoln.
Yeah. Well, that might be a good game because the Nebraska women, they're on a skid. So hopefully Iowa can keep that skid going. But when you cover both, I believe you have to sit there and say, no, you think Nebraska is going to win so that we don't alienate people.
It is true. All right. So let's just hop into the Nebraska women since we talked about them. So, back-to-back losses for them. 2 very tough teams, you know? I mean, you lose the number 11 and number 8 team in the country, and it's like, granted, a loss sucks no matter what, but Nebraska, you're doing well. The ladies were on a run, and then, it's just, things have not been going their way right now. But they are at home against number 22 Maryland. Again, one of those lower top 25 teams that it's like, if you're looking to get back on this and get this momentum going again, these are the wins you got to get.
Yep.
Especially with March getting very close. And then they have to go to Minnesota as well, which Iowa's ladies can attest to that as well. As you can't necessarily just guarantee you're going to get a win against the Gophers.
That's what I've heard, man. You got to pack your lunch when you go up to Minnesota.
Yeah. The news is all around, right?
Yep.
The news is out on the Golden Gophers. All right. Anything further about basketball?
How about the big win for the Iowa State women beating Texas Tech?
We didn't talk about the Iowa State women, did we?
No, we have not. We saved them for last. The best for last.
I was just going to move on without them. So the Cyclone ladies. It almost sounded like I said the Camptown ladies.
Ladies sing them songs.
Yeah, they had the Cyclone women had a big win out in Lubbock.
Yeah,
versus the number 21 Red Raider ladies. That's a tough environment to play in too.
It is.
I couldn't tell if the arena was sold out, but it looked damn packed.
I thought it was. They show up and show out in Lubbock. I love Lubbock.
They got some great freaking fans.
Oh, yeah.
Man. They dominated the shit out of UCF. No other way to put it. UCF really wasn't even in the freaking game. But tonight, they play Utah. I cannot remember I believe that is out in Utah. And then they continue on out in Utah and head to Provo. Tough week for the Iowa State ladies coming up, but they're getting that momentum back.
Yeah. At the right time.
Yep. With Addie Brown being out, other team or other members of the team that have really stepped up, it was looking dim there for a while. Now a lot of different podcasts that cover Iowa State. Every single one of them, you heard a theme that this team might not win another game when they were in that skid. And I don't know which one of us said that Iowa State's men might not win another game after the Cincinnati loss. Who's counting?
I am.
Well, we're moving on to wrestling.
Oh, my favorite.
The grapplers.
Thing I know everything about.
Yeah, wrestling.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to kick it off with Iowa State.
Right.
Because there's a lot of bad news in this section.
Okay.
And I think the least bad news is with Iowa State.
Okay, let's start off with the not so bad news.
Right. So Iowa State went to Norman last weekend. They took down Oklahoma pretty handily, 29-10. And then they got shut down hard by Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has a tendency to do that recently. 9-24. Yep. So pretty good whooping by Oklahoma State. It's one of those where the guys started off strong this year, but as you get closer to March or get late in the season, we've got the national finals coming around, and I don't even know if they're going to be a top 5. I think it's going to be between Nebraska, Iowa, and Iowa State, really, to probably see who gets that 4th or 5th spot in the rankings. But we'll have to see what happens in the national tournament, to be honest, man. But As far as team ranking, I think we dropped down to, I dropped down to 6th.
Okay.
Yep. So now they have a nice break. They have, a couple weeks. And they actually have West Virginia coming to Ames in a few weeks. You don't know a lot about wrestling, collegiate wrestling history, but West Virginia is number 16. Most people would go, really? Yeah.
I first thought of John Denver.
I heard he's full of shit.
I heard that too.
Anywho, yes. So they're coming down from Rocky Mountain High and they're coming to Ames. All right. The Hawkeye wrestlers. So this is why I wanted to not start off with this. We need some sunshine in this freaking episode, right?
We do.
So the Hawkeyes, they get beat by Minnesota.
Again, you got to pack your lunch when you go up to Minnesota.
Yep. And Minnesota is historically, if not one of the top teams in college wrestling, but they're towards the top, right? And this isn't the first time Minnesota's been able to take down Iowa, but then that was followed up by another loss to Ohio State. So Ohio State gets Iowa's number twice this season, which the way I see it, Brett, is, it's one thing to lose to Cale Sanderson, Penn State.
Yeah.
That's just, there's some acceptance taking place, I think, all of college wrestling there. But when you got to now deal with not only them, but then there's like the security guards, which are like Ohio State sitting at number 2, and you can't even get past that. It's almost like a video game where you can't get past the guy before the big boss.
Like Kung Fu on Nintendo. That game gave me so much trouble. I could never take on the big boss.
That was a freaking horrible analogy.
But it was a great game, wasn't it?
Fantastic. No, I was talking about my analogy when I started out. You covered for me just fine, man.
Okay.
So he's a hell of a wingman, folks. As they say in Major League, he's not the best color man in the business for nothing. But yeah, so the Hawks actually got to take on Michigan State coming up. And then that's right before they go to number 10, Michigan, up in Ann Arbor.
Ooh.
So that's not a guarantee either. I remember a few years back when Iowa lost to Michigan, and it was like breaking news up in Iowa and Nebraska. My brother called me. He's like, "Did you just see Michigan? Of all, because this is back, Michigan really wasn't relevant for a very long time in wrestling, and they beat Iowa." And I mean, was it shocking? Sure. But yeah, I mean, true Iowa Hawkeye wrestling fans were distraught.
Yeah, like I saw an article the other day where they're in a doom spiral where they're just, it's a really bad thing up there in Iowa City.
Oh, keep your chins up.
Yes.
Don't do anything stupid. That's for me to do. So let's look at Nebraska. Also a tough week.
Was it?
I mean, there was, again, I just said there's no moral victories. They lost to Ohio State 16-17. And then they had the lovely visit of Cale Sanderson, the Penn State Nittany Lions, which they held their own, 12-26. It's just like in wrestling, though, it's like there's a difference in wrestling. You look at 12-26, and it's like, if that's a football game, you're like, well, they gave them somewhat of a game.
2 scores.
But in wrestling, that's like, could be 3 or 4 matches difference, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just one of those where, I mean, they were somewhat in it, but I think Penn State also, Cale's, they got to be getting bored.
You think so?
I mean, yeah. I mean, do they take days off, you think, in some of their duels? He's just like, guys, like, just don't get hurt. We got to keep you healthy.
Probably not, because that's why they're so dominant.
Yeah, that's why Cale's such a freaking badass.
Yep.
Anyways, they got to take on Northwestern in Lincoln today. Actually, that took place already. I'll have to look that up. I actually didn't see what the score was on that one. They should have been able to handle Northwestern pretty well.
Beat the bookworms.
Yeah, right. Those lawyers can't wrestle for shit. And then, then they got to go to Champaign and take on number 11 Illinois. So, I mean, Illinois in years past known something about their wrestling team. I don't know anything about them this year, but they're good enough to be number 11. So
I heard they have orange singlets.
I think they're blue.
It tells you how much I know about wrestling.
Yeah. It was a good try, though.
It was.
Good college try. All right. Well, that's a rundown on wrestling. That's a rundown on basketball. Looking forward to March.
Yes.
Hopefully our teams can get their stuff together or keep their stuff together or whatever you want to say.
What are the Loyal Sons plans in March?
Oh, I heard rumor around the neighborhood. People are talking that we have maybe a live show.
Yeah, we'll do a remote from Full Throttle Bar and Grill up in the Lake of the Ozarks. I heard it's the #1 Iowa bar in the area. So super excited.
Is that true?
It is, because I just said it.
When you say Iowa, like Iowa Hawkeyes or just the state of Iowa?
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
Yeah. So we'll be in like enemy territory.
Will we? I don't think anybody gives a shit about loyalty to what team in the Lake of the Ozarks.
That's true. That's true.
I was gonna say most people can't even speak English. They're so hammered.
Yeah. But that's going to be fun. That's
That
going
will
to be
be fun. That will be fun. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And yeah, some exciting things going on right now. We've got a few different folks that are in communication with us about coming on the show. And yeah, we're going to have some guests coming up as well.
Yeah. Would you say we have irons in the fire?
Yes.
Well, maybe the fire's not going, but we got irons in the fire pit.
Yeah. We got the propane turned on and we clicked the little lighter button.
Okay. Good.
May not work, but yeah.
Hey.
All right. Enough about that rubbish. Brett, what should we do now?
Oh, I think we do a little CB scanner.
Again.
Yeah. So
it never stops, does it?
No. And this is actually like a very special one because there's a big holiday coming up that everyone loves. So the theme is around Valentine's Day.
Well, you said one that everybody loves.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. Why do you have all the Valentine's Day decorations up at your apartment? Like you've had them up for like a month.
You know that's bullshit.
That is 100% true. So in honor of the greatest holiday ever in no one's eyes, the theme this week is Love is in the Air.
It is.
Love is in the air. So normally I don't say where this happens, but it kind of fits in. Disturbance at Little Caesars. Caller.
Such a good place to have one at.
Caller calls in. It says 2 parties are fighting and they're crew members.
Wasn't even patrons.
No, crew members. All right, let's redo that one. So Love in the Air, blah, blah, blah. Location, Little Caesars, 3200 block of Broadway.
I know this location.
Calling party states 2 crew members are fighting in the Little Caesars. You're just shocked.
That's the call?
That's the call.
Okay. I mean, I've been to the Little Caesars. Well, I don't think I've been to it. I've been by it. I know the area it's in. It's not shocking. 2 crew members. It's just hard not to just picture one with a spatula, like the other one with the big, like, freaking whatever that thing is that they shove it in the wood fire, like beating the shit out of each other.
Could you just imagine walking in there like after a hard day and you're like, I'm just going to get some pizzas, feed the family. I just need to get home. You order your pizza and you're like, okay, where's it at? And then they start fighting.
You look back there and one of the employees throwing another one in a freaking hip toss.
Yeah, like amazing.
I just want was it a $5 deal or whatever the hell they have?
I hope it was.
Oh, God. They called the police for that?
Oh, yeah.
That seems mild compared to some of our scanner stuff, honestly.
It does, but it just
Well,
imagine.
actually, no, it makes you wonder how bad it was.
Where was the manager?
Is this one of those situations where a man was killed by spatula?
All right. Next one. Caller states 2 males got into a fist fight at the intersection. When the light turned green, they both got into their trucks and started chasing each other. Caller states it sounds like a mixed martial arts and NASCAR event.
That sounds like it wouldn't be true. And actually, I don't know. I would almost believe it more in Council Bluffs. If they didn't chase each other, they just, the minute it turned green, both agreed to get in their cars and drive off. But you throw in the NASCAR and NASCAR what?
NASCAR and mixed martial arts.
What in the hell does that sound like?
Well, I think that's like they
Red-
got in the fight. The light was like the bell. It rang and they went to their corners, which was their trucks, and then left and started chasing each other. And I wonder if at the next light they stopped, got out, fought, light turned green, get back in the truck.
Yeah, because you know the stoplights on like certain stretches in Council Bluffs too. If you hit one, you hit them all.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just driving down 16s, just bitching at each other every like 3 or 4 blocks. You son of a bitch! I didn't have time to say this last time. Oh God. Okay, that was real.
That was 100% real. All right. Next one. In another restaurant at IHOP, physical fight between 6 people, possibly a bat involved. Subjects have already left.
Now, Council Bluffs and Council Bluffs locals that are, listen to the show. This one's not on you, CB, because IHOPs everywhere deal with shit like this.
Not quite Waffle House.
No, not quite Waffle House, but they don't have those in the Midwest.
No, they don't do that.
No. Well, they have, I think, in Kansas City. But anyways, yeah, that's a whole nother level of shit show. I'm guessing, what is there, an IHOP in Manawa?
I think so.
I don't know. I've never been to one in Council Bluffs.
I usually go to Village Inn.
I'll just take your word for it. Yeah, I got made fun of because I swore by Village Inn by somebody once.
Oh, it's pretty good.
They weren't from the Midwest, and they went
No.
back there with me. And I'm like, you got to go here. And like,
So question,
Yeah.
did they go at 2:30 in the morning or did they go in like the actual day?
I think breakfast is really the only meal you should go for. If you're trying to show somebody like, hey, they make good food, breakfast has got to be it.
Yeah, like you get breakfast at 2:30 in the morning when you're drunk.
No. Well, I mean, yeah.
That's when it's the best.
No, did not take anybody there at 2:30 in the morning.
Okay, well, that was your problem. All right, final one for Love is in the Air. And this one actually did not happen in Council Bluffs. Happened in Omaha. So giving Omaha some love.
We've moved across the river.
Yes. So caller states 2 females are currently fighting inside a construction area. One female is in her underwear and attempting to hit the other with a brick.
It better damn well be true, because good for you, Omaha.
That is 100%. Like
That sounds like something I would, when I was working off Saddle Creek, that sounds exactly like something I would have seen when I was down there.
like why was she in her underwear?
She was holding a brick in her underwear.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like if you're in your underwear in a construction zone, if you're threatened, what's the next step you should take,
So like what went through my head was the brick at the construction site? Or did she like walk down the street carrying said brick?
Yes, I was thinking like road construction as well, so there wouldn't be really bricks. So it almost had to be was this somebody's home construction?
It just says construction site.
Oh, God. Oh, Lordy. Thank you, Omaha.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well represented, Omaha. Well represented.
That's another rundown of the CB scanner. Is there any other bonus rounds?
No, but I heard there's another special event coming up in February.
Yeah,
heard
what is
old Gene's birthday's coming up, our number 1 fan.
Yeah, one of our earliest and top fans back in Iowa is turning 72.
Ooh,
Yeah.
72 years young.
On the 11th. Yeah, he's just as honorary as he was way back when. And yeah, he also retired for, I think, the 3rd time. So we'll see if that sticks. When he listens to this, he's going to give me some shit. But anyhow, just wanted to send out a happy birthday. Know that neither myself or Brett can be up there for it. But enjoy it. Enjoy retirement if it lasts. I'm going to start a money pool on this, I think. Yeah.
Like put it on Underdogs or something?
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Okay.
Yeah. Anywho, have a good one for your birthday, man. And honestly, put down some bush lights and celebrate.
Happy birthday, Gene. Have a bush light for me, please.
And pretty much wraps up the episode, huh?
It does.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's probably pretty happy it's over.
Well, yeah, that's a wrap. So we're going to call it good for today. And as we always say, stay warm back in Iowa. Stay warm back in Nebraska. Y'all running around in your underwear chunking bricks. Put some clothes on.
Please.
Cold out there.
Don't get frostbite.
And as always, have a cold bush light or 2 or 3. Or you know what? Maybe even have some Steeple Ridge. Maybe try some of that. That'll warm you up quick. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and sign off now. So thank you all for listening. And we'll catch you next time.